with this being the Huskers' last game, who is most likely playing their last game?
That's an interesting question because with this weird age that we live in with COVID, extra years for players, it's hard to even keep track of who's a senior and who still has eligibility left.
You are right.
This time last week, we basically kind of expected only about 12 kids to walk on senior day. It ended up being, I think, 30 or 31. But a ton of them still have eligibility left. And I think the shocking thing was that Casey Thompson actually walked and O'Shawn Mathis walked.
Okay.
But Casey addressed that, and he said that just wanted to have his chance to walk. He doesn't know what he's going to do. That doesn't mean that he's not going to be back next year or that he's going to move on. But you do have to think that, he's 24 years old right now. He'll be 25 when the season starts next year.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, he's older than some starting quarterbacks. I think he's older than Patrick Mahomes, if I'm not mistaken. But it's a really hard call. The one guy I can definitely tell you is that didn't walk and wasn't going to walk is Garrett Nelson. And that's this is a guy that ever since he knew what football was, he wanted to play at Nebraska. But I don't know. It's really hard to say. And when you're a 3-win team, and with NIL the way with the transfer portal the way it is, it's really easy to go somewhere else. So we'll have to see. It's gonna. We'll find out more. I think as after the Iowa game and obviously learning who the new head coach is going to be will be a factor in that as well. But obviously, we all know that you obviously have to expect some roster movement and changes. That I think we're all used to now for how many years now.
What do you think about a guy like Caleb Tanner?
No, I don't think he has any eligibility left.
Okay.
Yeah, he's done. Yeah. He's been here for 6 years, and he's not. He's a senior. He's graduated. He's done. Okay. And let me add on there. Casey Thompson will get his master's degree or his bachelor or his master's degree. Yes, here in December. So he's already got 2 degrees as well as a 24-year-old prospective 25-year-old college quarterback this season.
Yeah, we used to be able to sit here and say, okay, well, the running backs are X, Y, and Z, and so-and-so's leaving because they're going to the NFL draft and they're out of eligibility. Therefore, so-and-so is really good. They're next in line, or maybe they're not very good. So they might be looking, and with the transfer portal, who knows? You can't say, well, so-and-so is being groomed as the next starting quarterback. No, they may just go out and grab somebody.
And also, okay, I'll drop another name in there. It is a Trey Palmer that has eligibility. Yep. I think he's here. If Mickey Joseph is here, Trey Palmer comes back. If Mickey's not on the staff, I would expect him to leave.
Okay. I was scanning the roster looking for anybody else that I was curious about. This is a young team.
It's very young, yeah. Like I said, you only had about a dozen guys that were actually had no eligibility left. But then you also had a lot of guys that have been here for a long time, and a lot of them are walk-ons that walked as well that, didn't get a lot of playing time while they were here. They're just part of the team that obviously they've graduated as well by now, and they're going to go take their place in the real world. Give up their dream of playing football. But I mean, I mentioned the main guys there that you would have to worry about. So
Travis Vokalek's a senior.
Yeah, he's done. He's used up all his eligibility. Yeah.
Okay. So is Oliver Martin.
Oliver Martin is done. Omar Manning is done. Yeah. All those guys have used up their eligibility.
Omar Manning's career was a bit of a disappointment.
Yeah, it was a very tumultuous career. TCU, JUCO, or JUCO, TCU, JUCO, Nebraska. I mean, he's been through a lot, and never really kind of developed the way that most people thought he would when he was a very high ranked receiver coming out of high school. And he's dealt with a lot of injuries, a lot of setbacks as well. But yeah, I felt his time here at Nebraska was plagued by injuries and never really got to launch anything really good going on. Come in here with a lot of hype. Number one JUCO player in the nation when he came to Nebraska. And, sometimes that happens. It's not rocket science when you're rating these kids coming out of high school. We've mentioned that tons of times. Probably more fail than they succeed if you probably look at the overall numbers on that, the analytics on that.
Our man Jose Farfan's here. Jose, when Nebraska announces a new head coach, will we go live? You can name just about every head coaching change in college football over the last 5 years, and when it was announced, we went live. So unless there's no way I can do it, we will be live. Yes.
Yeah, I can do it after the. I mean, when it's announced, obviously. Well, unless it's announced at a press conference, but we'd have to wait for me to get back from the press conference.
But yes, we will be live.